liftoff of the Falcon 9. And we have ignition, and we have launch. The Falcon 9 does. Go, Internet Rocket must. May the 4th be with you, Falcon 9 and Starlink.
The quote so nice we'll play it twice there during the launch. The sound will hit us in just a second.
And that gorgeous sound of the crackling of the 9 Merlin Wendy engines beginning to subside a little bit here as Falcon 9 takes to the skies on May the 4th. The vehicle pitching over now, heading up through about 11 kilometers in altitude now. That condensation trail behind it, totally normal and what we want to see for a liquid-fueled rocket. Everything from a visual standpoint looks to be going very well. About 1 minute and 40 seconds into the flight now. About 30-ish seconds or so remaining in first stage flight at this time.
Look at that. It looks like you swapped the filter down. Look at the expansion of the plume there. That's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, you can just, I love launch just because you can just tell as it's ascending into vacuum how much that plume expands when there's no air pressure forcing it back.
Yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous, and we should be coming up just about ready for staging now. We'll see the first stage 9 engines shut down, stage separation, and then very quickly thereafter the ignition of the Merlin vacuum-optimized engine on the second stage.
All right, so I'm going to keep an eye on this, but let's swap back over to the rocket camera here. You can really see that plume expansion there. This, of course, comes from the SpaceX feed, showing there's going to be a little bit of discrepancy in the timers here because SpaceX has a little bit of a delay sending us this. But here we go.
Indeed.
This should be coming up on MECO, main engine cutoff.
MECO. Stage 2.
And we have definitely lost it with the visual light here on the ground. There we go.
Yep.
And ignition of the MVAC. Woohoo! There we go.
All right. So on the right-hand side of the screen there, that is the upper stage. That is the second stage of the rocket, that MVAC engine, Merlin vacuum-optimized engine, that's going to be continuing to accelerate that payload, those 60 Starlink satellites, out into its orbit. We may see the fairing go by here shortly.
Yeah, fairings are separating right about now, yeah.
There you go. So that protective fairing that protects the Starlink satellites while they're going through the atmosphere, you can see it tumbling behind the stage as it leaves it behind. Those will be scooped, won't they?
Those will be scooped, yes. The Shayla Bordelon. Thank you.
The Bordelon.
Yeah, the Bordelon. Oh, thank you. Now I remember how to take it.
Now you remember what it is.
Yeah, the Shayla Bordelon is out there waiting to fish the fairings out of the ocean. As we've discovered here recently in the last few months, they have abandoned actually catching the fairings in the air. They have simply redesigned them to be able to splash down and just be fished out of the water, which saved them a lot of money from having to have 2 ships out there. They could simply redesign the fairings, put the vent ports higher up above the water line for when they splash down, and be good. And that's what they're doing. So yeah, Shayla Bordelon is out there about 730 kilometers northeast of the Space Center here, waiting to retrieve the fairings. And of course, I Still Love You is 633 kilometers northeast of here off the coast of Charleston, South Carolina, about 200 kilometers off that coast, waiting to catch the booster, which is en route and should be there in about 3 minutes.
Yep, and that's what you see on the left-hand side of your screen there. You can see those grid fins. That is the booster, the bottom part of the rocket, the big part of the rocket. That is going down to land on the drone ship. Those grid fins will, as it gets into the thicker atmosphere, provide some aerodynamic control to help steer that rocket into where it's going. But it should land on the drone ship. The drone ship will drag it on back to port, and they'll use the crane to pick it off. They'll lay it down, they'll roll it back into Cape Canaveral, and they will, or Space Force Station, whichever, and they will get it ready to potentially fly a 10th time, because this was the 9th launch of that booster, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. 9th launch of this booster. It launched the Telstar 18 Vantage mission here from Slick 40. Then it went to Vandenberg, where it launched the Iridium Next 8 mission, the final one for them. The final one on a Falcon 9 for them, of the next constellation. And then it came back here and has been used ever since for Starlink. So this was its 7th Starlink flight and 9th overall. And yeah, if it lands successfully, they'll bring it back for flight number 10. And I know we mentioned this earlier in the stream, but the first booster that will reach the 10th reuse milestone is headed for a launch no earlier than Sunday, May 9th from Slick 40 with the next round of Starlink satellites. So that crucial 10th reflight coming up very soon for the Falcon 9.
All right, so we are getting ready to come up on what's called the entry burn on the left-hand side.
Yes.
You will see that booster, and it is going to actually activate its engines. It's got those 9 engines down on the bottom. Falcon 9, why it's a Falcon 9, it's got 9 Merlin engines on the bottom of it, right? But it's going to activate those engines for a re-entry burn. Chris, does it use all the entry for the entry burn?
No, that's a great question. So it needs 9 to lift off the ground, but it needs 3 to do the entry burn, and then it only needs the single center engine to do the landing burn.
Gotcha. So they're going to...
And that is just... Yeah. Yep. Go ahead. Oh, yeah, no, I was just going to say, and that literally is just you're watching the mass properties of the vehicle change throughout flight, right? Where they need 9 engines to literally get it off the ground.
And there's that entry burn.
There's the entry burn. But if you lit all 9 now, they would just come to a dead stop and start going up again.
Yep.
It's so much later, so you only need 3 for this, and then this burns enough propellant that you only need 1 to do the landing burn.
Excellent. And this is sort of slowing down, it's targeting the drone ship, and it's also sort of weird using the flames of the engine to help protect the underside of the rocket. Sort of doesn't make a lot of sense, but you can actually use it as a bit of a heat shield there. It's almost like fighting fire with fire. Not really.
It's exactly fighting fire with fire.
You know, plasma with fire. I think it's a different state of matter, but whatever.
Well, it is plasma with fire. There we go. We can.
I think it's the onboard video. Because they've been balancing the feed off of the recovery vessels, so we'll see if this video will hold as it comes down towards the drone ship.
Yep. Now, a couple of things are going to happen in rapid succession there. You can see on the left-hand side of your screen the booster falling toward the drone ship. Of course, I still love you. We're standing by for the landing burn there. You can see the Stage 1 booster's telemetry right underneath it, which appears to have hiccupped. The whole thing seems to have hiccupped on my phone. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah. We can't see the
everything. Oh, did everything freeze on the stream itself? There it is. Okay, good. I didn't know if that was a glitch on my phone.
Right there, that was the handoff from the 39A ground stations to the drone ship, and then it looks like they lost it right after that on the first stage.
Okay.
It's doing nominal. You can see telemetry in the bottom left, but they did lose the video on board.
Yeah. So as that booster descends to the drone ship, keep your eye on the right-hand side of the screen. For the second stage, you can see it's still powering on its way to orbit.
Oh, wow.
They got the video back.
Here we go.
Look. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it's really jumpy on my... It's all pixelated in front
of me. It is.
So I'm going to rely on you guys,
They're getting pieces of it. It looks like it's in the middle of the drone ship. It's every now and then cutting in. Did it land?
It landed. There we go. Look at that.
There we go. Suddenly there's a rocket dead center, too.
Wow, almost dead center, Thomas. Like, literally almost dead center. Wow, awesome. And the second stage is in orbit. So the second stage has reached its initial parking orbit. So it will now enter about a 37-minute coast before it will reignite its engine for exactly 1 second and shut it down, and that is enough to alter Falcon 9's orbit to the proper deployment orbit, which is approximately 290 by 280 kilometers. Give or take a kilometer on either side of that, yes.
And I think that's what they're talking about here on this stream. But I want to switch back to my favorite
Yes.
view on launch day. Can I do that?
Oh, of course.
Who am I asking? I'm the one that clicks the button. Yes, I'm going to do it. Really quickly here. Yep, there we go. Here is my favorite view on launch day, folks. That is Pad 39A. Less than 10 minutes ago, there was a Falcon 9 rocket with 60 internet satellites on board of it, and it's not there anymore. It is on its way to orbit, still waiting for that final orbital burn to just pop it the rest of the way into orbit. But there is not a rocket on the launch pad, which means that we did not get a scrub today. I like it. That's what we like to see, right?
Yes.
Me too. No scrub today. Only 1 out of 2.
All right. So really quickly
And
here.
off that note,
Go ahead, Tom.
your feed's going to have to go away pretty quickly here.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like we are going to shut down our remote unit there, and we will switch back over to the SpaceX view from the upper stage there. Thomas, you are clear to shut down that camera and pack it up.
Copy that, thanks.
All right. Again, folks, out there at the press site, Chris Gebhardt and Thomas Berghardt, they both rolled out there. I imagine we're going to get some other shots as well. Is Steven out with y'all too?
Yes, he is currently in his car editing right now. Yes.
Editing photos, excellent. So Steven, one of the NASA Space Flight photographers, is also out there and was taking some still photos, sounds like, and he's frantically editing them. We'll see if we get some of those on Twitter here in just a second. Do we know how long the coast phase is?
37 minutes.
37 minutes. Well, it sounds like I better read some super chats, huh?
I think so. You know, Das, this is a good question that I have.
Okay. I think you're allowed to. What, you gonna do a super chat or what?
And live after we break
Nope.
down
Apparently he didn't pay the super
Camera.
chat, and so we can't hear his
for
question.
Starlings, considering deployment's like an hour from now.
So Chris, really quickly, could you repeat that? You
Yeah.
broke up. We didn't copy you.
Yes. Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, I think what happened is we were turning off modems, and we turned off the modem my phone was connected to, so I had to go to LTE. No, what I was asking is, we're normally in the field, Thomas and I. How long do we stay live for Starlink missions when the deployment's an